Uh, Welcome back
Welcome back
to
to
Programming with
Programming with
Riley.
Riley.
My name is
My name is
Riley,
Riley.
and today
And
what
today,
we're
what
going to
we're
be
going to be
doing
doing
is
is
looking
looking
back at the
back at the
Rust
Rust
code
code
that we were
that we were
writing,
writing,
and
and
we're
we're
going to
going
be
to be
solving some
solving
of the
some of the
bugs
bugs
that
that
we
we
couldn't
couldn't
solve
solve
last time.
last time.
And so, with that, um, let me just kind of bring it back to where we were before. Um, Remember, we had the migration CLI testing. We were testing it, but we were getting all those connection errors. And it's funny because let me just take a quick look into the code and show you because I kind of glossed over this last video, but these abstractions hide a lot of complication, and this is the good and the bad of this stuff. Is so if you don't understand it and you start using the abstractions, it's just going from it's just like going straight to React in the JavaScript world. Like if you don't understand JavaScript and you just jump right into React, you might be able to work with it, right? But you don't really understand what's going on underneath. So it's the same level, or it's the same logic at this level too. It's just a little bit lower level. So I'm gonna move. Actually, I have just one sec. I have to move this. So, anyways, while I'm setting up my next scene, um, I did manage to actually fix the bug, and it's strange. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of test the edge cases on it because I'm not 100% sure that it's actually working. Uh, so we'll find out, okay? And let's jump into the code. All right, so this is what it was before. Literally, this is the difference, right? And actually no, it was dot to str. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, as not to. So SQL as string. And so this is where I'm still working to understand Rust because for me, I don't see a difference between um, the different things, right? Um, like I just see the SQL and the difference between as string, to string, mute string, and without the string. It's just it's a little much, and I'm not exactly sure, but at a certain point, you know, you can understand the in-depthness of things, or you can just see that hey, it works. So, uh, I got the answer from ChatGPT, as you can probably tell, but it told me to do it for all of these, and so I'm not exactly sure why. I was assuming that since this SQL is already being read as a string, that's okay. And for some reason, when we do it directly here, it says, yeah, we can tell it's being read as a string, but actually, for this to be able to execute, it has to be of type and unknown. And so this is just using a generic. Um, we can see I went into this and I looked at it, and it's literally just using a generic type. Now the thing is I don't know. I'm still learning and trying to understand generic types, and like they they make sense to me, but I don't understand why you would use them. Because to me it seems like they introduce I wouldn't say like direct bugs, but definitely complications because the whole point of a typed language is to understand and to know the types that are being worked with. So I can like to me generics just seem very lazy and I don't know how else to say it. Um like I've tried to understand like why somebody would actually sit down and want to use a generic, and I don't I don't really understand when or why. Um, because once again, it's like the benefits of a compiled statically typed language are not you're not taking advantage of them if you're just using generics. And if for something as important as this, where you're executing raw SQL, I don't know why that would ever be generic because it's supposed to be SQL. So to me, it seems like this should be reading this as a string, um, but it's not. So that threw me off for a little bit. So what I had to do is come over into here and put that and in front of it. And so all this is doing is saying we're going to borrow this SQL, and for some reason that works, and that makes no sense to me. So what we're going to do is you can probably see right here we have this the local database. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this table. We're going to drop it, and say force refactor. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to delete this folder entirely and the example. So now we're going to compile this code. I know I'm using the included terminal, so if you can't see it, it's fine. The command, if you want to join and participate, the command to execute is cargo install dash dash path dot. So if you're ever working on a library or something, not a library, if you're working on an Rust executable and you want to run it locally, that's how you install it. You can do the like inside the project ca- cargo run. But for me, particularly for what we're doing, we need to have this CLI work inside of another Rust project, so we have to actually install it. All right. So while that's installing, let me just take a step back and go over a little bit what we're doing here, right? So Rusty Road is a web framework, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to s- gently replace your Ruby on Rails, your Node.js, all that type of stuff. And this right now, it's more of a toy. But I have run an agency before, a software development agency, and so um, I do plan on using this as the base framework for all of the projects that I build going forward, which is why I'm approaching it the way I'm approaching it. Um, and at the moment, I'm currently a C sharp developer, so I understand what I'm doing. And when I say understand what I'm doing, I'm not saying from an arrogant point of view. Like I understand that I'm building an ecosystem or building something in the ecosystem that's not exactly supported. I understand that there isn't much of a community need for this, but I also understand that this is something that I've wanted for a while because I want a web server that can compile and execute like that I can just have an exe and stand up a database and just have those two work. And I haven't seen anything really. Like my problem with Node is it's all like it's too many processes. And you have to basically start another process every time you want to do something. And I'm not a fan of that. Even though it is single threaded, it still takes over the whole server, right? And if you have a dedicated server to run it, hey, that's not a problem. But it becomes a bit much. Hold on, my cat's meowing. Cat's meow. I opened the door for her. All right, so we're done compiling here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna test it. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so what we can do is Rusty Road migration generate pets, and we'll say it has 2 columns, and we'll just do name and age. Name, this will be text. None, no, and this will be age, and this will be numeric, and it'll make it a regular integer. None, no. All right, so one thing we have to add to the CLI is something that says, hey, dude, we finished this. But I should be able to run this now. What is it? Migration run. I keep getting that mixed up. I think I had it as execute before. Ooh, that's a good error. Interesting. So this is the error we were getting before, but I just fixed it. You can see I just fixed it by this right here. All right, so this is the answer we got back. Let me see. It might actually be different. All right, so this is what I was told by ChatGPT to do. I thought it's what I was doing. All I did was copy this part. Let's see. Let SQL string dot no and new SQL. So this is what we had before. Oh, you can't see it. This is what we had before. And it worked. So I wrote the raw SQL in here. And this worked. And then it said, oh, just do this. Delete this. And this is what we had before. So I'm not sure what the difference is. Let's check. So this is the one thing about um, working with Rust is there's no avoiding this part right here where every time you make a code change, you have to compile it, you have to run it, and then you have to test it. And so that's the one thing is, I mean, there are tools that you can use to have it run every time you're working with it, like in the background and stuff to compile. But I'm telling you, it'll load up your CPU. Cat's coming up. All right, so I'm not exactly sure why that stopped working. I should have made a push, but I do have. I think it'll work. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that, but I definitely do need to change this. Could not. I'm trying to remember how to. I don't know if that'll work the way I want it to. I'm not doing it right now anyway. This is the same error I was getting before, but I know I had it fixed. I just had it working. I promise you that. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because I deleted the pets table. Let me try something real quick. Here it is. I knew there was an issue. So if we run it now, it'll work. This still. Oh, guess I was wrong about that. So I just ran it over here. We can see there's the pets table, right? And I'm gonna try it one more time. Come on, Tink, I gotta work. I love cats, but their hair is just everywhere. Okay, so you see here, this is what's showing me something, right? It's you'll see it just technically worked, and it looks like it added the column too. Oh, maybe not. Didn't add the column. Oh wait, yeah, I did. Here, age, integer. So if we change this to name, and text. This will work too. Just have to refresh this. So this is where I'm getting thrown off a little bit. Um, because if I delete it, then it doesn't work. And I think what I need to do is go back into this the SQL generation and make it a little bit more robust. Because now we're going to get an error. Which makes sense because the table doesn't exist. But it shouldn't give us that. So what we're going to do is uh, break these down into sequential statements. Uh, yeah, that's not doing anything. You can use a loop and execute each query one by one. I thought that's what, oh, execute query sequential. That's not a real thing. Oh, let's do it. Maybe this will be a work. I never thought about that. I don't think that's gonna be it though, right now. Because I understand. Let me just write this equal. Uh, create table. If not exists. Pets. See, that's the thing. There's got to be something else that's giving an error. All right, let's see if it works. Create table. If not exists. You know what? Maybe that's why. Let's actually run through this CLI real quick again, because I think I did it wrong. So it'll be two columns. Enter the name of the column. So this will be ID, and this is a unique ID. No, it doesn't have to be. 11 numeric, integer, unique, no. And this should be name, text, none, no. So we do need to fix the migration generation. It still says it. So this doesn't make sense. Something about this is, I'm suspecting that because we're using the integrated CLIs, that it wants all these tables made first. But that's what we're trying to do right now. So this will be Postgres review migration. We might need to use this. Yeah, I think we need to use this. It doesn't look like it works directly. You know, it's funny because before this I was using Diesel. SQLite. Okay. So what is this just does? It just executes? Alright. Let's do it like this. See any examples? Oh, this is just the SQL. There's only one example. Oh, this is great. Alright, it looks like it supports it. So I'm gonna say let's use. I have to change where I'm at. It's cool that it takes time to think. Oh, so I didn't even have to make that execution thing. I wonder if that'll make anything different. I don't think it will. All right, let's try it. Got nothing to lose. Oop, wrong one. See all those bugs? No method name migrate. So I'm just giving it the new code because what it had me doing before wasn't necessarily working. Not sure if this is gonna work. Hmm. Runner. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll do it like this. What? Can't find a runner. This is completely different than what I had before. At least we're using the same connection. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, this is because I'm using too much custom stuff. That's why. And I already had working code, so I'm not gonna do it like this. Even though it looks really cool, I don't think I need it. All right, so I'm gonna bring it all the way back here. And remember, what we were running into is basically if the table isn't there already, then it's gonna give us an issue. So what we're gonna do is gonna try and make it to be just create table code and see if that gives us something different. Table pets does not exist. Couldn't. Why would that ever happen? Ah, that's cool. That's super lit though. I don't see any working examples for Postgres. Yeah, this is not stable. You might be working on it, but not really. Database schema migration builder. Still have Diesel. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry, I'm reading this. Because we have diesel already. But I don't think we need diesel. I forgot that we did this already. Let me go back and figure out how I was doing it because I did get it working. I forgot that. Man, there's so much code in here. I forgot about that. So we actually did get this working for the initial seeders. But the only difference is that what we were doing for that is we were loading it directly into the project and then running it. But it should still work. Source. DB. So this is the initial. You'll see we're just pushing raw SQL in here. And then I don't know where we run it. We have the migration executor. I forgot about that. So write to file, create it, write it. I don't think this is executing it. So this is creating a database. And then we have this. But this isn't working. Well, it's not. That is not working though. It's not using that. Oh, here we go. Run migration and execute migration. That's the issue. Okay. So run migration definitely works. Execute migration with connection. So I'm just looking for everywhere that I use this. Okay, so what I'm seeing is I have too much stuff going on here. I'm gonna close all this shit because I think I implemented some stuff twice. All right, so we have the run migration, but I don't think this is what's being called. Oh, it is being called. All right. So what is different from this and the initial one? Couldn't create. I thought I was working with this. So I'm running a quick test. I don't think this is gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work. No, this isn't gonna work. Um, so I mean, this is like when it comes down to it, this is really what it is. It seems like, oh yeah, hey, this is super exciting. But at the end of the day, it's still the end of the day. I read that in a YouTube comment. I don't understand. Oh, you know what? This is what I did before. So this is the crazy part. All right. This will work. I'm gonna stop this shit. Stop. So what I think we need to do is run these. It makes no sense. I don't know why, but I think we need to run them separately. So after we create the table, then we update the table. Yeah, something like this should just work. It really it should just straightforward work. Um, and there are a bunch of tools that'll make it so that you could probably get it to work. But the issue is you become dependent on those tools, and so we want to make sure that we can kind of get this um, working naturally, right, without having to rely on a third party framework or something like that. Because the issue happens when those change. We got to update it, all that type of stuff, and you're still not learning if you're just using a tool every time. You don't actually know how this stuff works. So I know that this table query will work because it worked before, but it's still kind of throwing me off. Table. Uh, yeah, this is still compiling. Yeah, and see the thing is if you don't write your code right the first time, then every time you have to fix a bug, yeah, literally have to wait for the whole thing to compile. That's still becoming an issue. um, I like Node.js for that, but I understand what this is doing a little bit better. And so I know why it takes so long, and it's not that much of an issue for me because I know all the stuff it's doing, and I appreciate it. It's like checking everything for you, and the issue is with Node, you don't get any of those checks. You just get the errors at runtime. Same thing with C sharp, right? You might get uh, because you have the C sharp compiler running in the background, like you'll get some stuff that will let you know, but you can still fake your way around it. And with Rust, you really can't. I mean, I've in terms of the amount of runtime errors that I found, JavaScript, TypeScript, C sharp, and Rust is not even comparable. There's maybe one, like twice I've had it so far, maybe, and it was because of behavior that I left uh, undefined, right? So there it is, right there. Right? Oh, sorry, I forgot to switch it. So here you'll see uh, it worked. It says it worked, and then we'll go ahead and refresh this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Am I in the wrong database? Huh? Maybe that didn't work. Huh? It looks like it didn't work. You should see my table in here. I don't see my table in here. Um. Okay. So the thing is like it's running it because it's not saying it couldn't, but it's not creating a table either. Just make sure I'm not going crazy. Yeah, my PC's getting a little overloaded right now. Okay, so something's going on here, and I'm not exactly sure what. It's got to be with this way I'm handling the connection. It makes me wonder why I had to um, rewrite this. Connection data execute. Can either be a statement or a raw query string. Oh, there's a prepare method. Let's see if I can do this. It's got to be a statement or a raw query string. Jeez, when's the first time you guys use this? Okay, this is what we need. Name params columns. Yeah, this is definitely what we need. Because it's giving us the column and stuff. Let's see. All right, so we have to use this statement builder. What is this? All right, so this is going to be a little different. Um, because what I'm going to do now, like the thing is, ooh, okay. So what is going through my head is this statement builder is for direct execution of SQL statements. Right? So it lets you build it, but I want to write it to a file first, and I want to make sure that the SQL that's written to the file is the SQL that gets executed. This skips that step. Yeah. SQL. What? Turns the tide. This is a little too much for me. So basically what this is doing is it's going to create this, and then it's all going to take your SQL um, and break it down into a statement and then print it. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, so um, I'm gonna try and implement this. I'm not gonna do it right now, but this looks like it might be what works. I don't know. Let me run this through. And I'm gonna just make a statement thing. New say statement builder and see how far we get with that. And add it. All right. Do we have any errors here? Yeah, this isn't gonna work either. We are creating a client, but I don't think it's how we want to do it. We have this. Yeah, I didn't want to modify the statement struct. I just wanted to use it. I'm gonna delete this out. All right, so we are where we are. Um, I'm still not exactly sure. I have suspicions, but I could have sworn I got this fixed uh, when I was doing it earlier. So, um, what we do know is the raw SQL works. So when we execute the raw SQL, it works no problem. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna isolate this stuff, and a lot, the issue is a lot of it you can't because until like this is all integration testing. Some call it end-to-end testing, and there's so much stuff in between. But as soon as you are connecting to something, it becomes harder to test it. Not impossible, but it's more difficult because you don't know where the errors are actually going on. Because it could be anywhere. Uh, but I don't think I have real errors. I think it's phantom stuff. So, anyways, this is I'm gonna I gotta go take a walk and wrap my head around this. I'm not exactly sure why this isn't working. Um, but I'll be back, and I'll see you soon next time. Peace.